ای بابا چرا؟ چه وضع زندگیه آخه؟ چه شرایط ناخوشایندیه آخه؟ اصلا چرا این اتفاقات داره میفته؟ البته نه میدونی تقصیر خودم بود لایف قطع شد چون چیز بود چون اینترنت هم کند بود، یه دور مجبور شدم هاتسپاتم رو خاموش روشن کنم، بعد یهو دیدم زرشک قطع شد کلن، اصلا دیگه وصلم نشد هیچی دیگه، چیزش کردم. حالا فعلا الان سرعت اینترنت هم رو درست کردم، ولی خب امیدوارم ثابت بمونه. حالا بهتر شد، نه آی پی تا آی پی هم که گرفتم عوض شد، پس یعنی احتمالاً چیز شده. Holy shit. آره آی پی که گرفتم عوض شده، پس احتمال زیاد الان سرعت ثابت باشه. حالا من آمده ام با مجدد سابناتیکا، خسته نباشه همین الان لایو چیز کردم، منتها الان دارم آموزش میبینم. فقط یه دقیقه صبر کن ببینم من میتونم چیزمو اینجا توی یوتیوب بیارم یا نه، یعنی تو گوشیم چتو بیارم چتو بخونم، هرچند آدمی که نمیاد، ولی خب اوکی باید مثبت اندیش باشیم. آره خب What؟ آهنگ من کی آهنگ کلام دار گذاشته بودم؟ What؟ اوکی مهم نیست. خب این الان اومد روی صفحه من. آره خب به
Welcome everybody to the new player starter guide in Subnautica.
Yes.
In order to craft the equipment that we need to survive, there will be a few nodes that we need to be aware of. Limestone will give us titanium or copper. Sandstone will give us silver, gold, or lead. And shale will give us gold, diamond, or lithium. Barnacle, which can be found exclusively on the reef backs, will give us silver or copper. And other resources that we need to be aware of, metal salvage, when broken down, will give us 4 pieces of titanium. Acid mushrooms, which is a key component in making batteries. Quartz, which we need to make glass as well as other things. Creepvine and creepvine cluster, which we need for fabric, lubricant, and rubber.
Okay.
Cave sulfur, which we'll need early game, but not a lot of. Okay, so with that knowledge, let's go ahead and jump in the water and start gathering resources.
I mean,
we'll gather some mushrooms for batteries, and we'll start looking for limestone and things like that. If you come across this brain coral, you can hover over it. The bubbles will refill your oxygen. We want to stay fairly close to the surface because our oxygen is very limited at this point. So I'm literally just going around looking for all the nodes and things that I can break or pick up. You see the kelp forest right here. This is one thing we're going to need. There's going to be yellow clusters, and we're going to need to take 2 of them to start. We're looking for a yellow glow. Now the vine itself is useful, but it's not useful until we craft a knife. So there's a yellow glow right there, and that's what we need. And a knife, this thing glows really well, and it makes it very easy to find. Now this will take up 4 spaces in your inventory, so beware of that. You can see. So as you're in the water and you're exploring, you may lose track of your light pod. If you come into your PDA and you go to the 3rd tab, the beacon manager, you can turn it on or off, and you can change the color to make it easier to see. I advise that you change the color so you can find it easily. We want to kind of stay near the safe shallows for now, so I'm going to go back that way. I do see some metal salvage over here, and I'm going to be able to break that down with the other metal salvage, and that's going to give us 8 pieces of titanium, which we will need. Stay away from the gas pods, as when you get near him, he gets scared and he releases poisonous gas into the water, which will damage you. Once we have a knife, we'll be able to break the table coral down and take the pieces to craft for computer chips.
God damn. غذا بده، غذا میخوام. مرسی. نایف. نایف. قارچا کجا؟ آها. یس. اینطوری دیگه جا نداره. من دچار کمبود جا هستم. زیرم کلن داره بودن. اوکی. خب گلدم لازم ده. ولی خوبه. چرا به اول به من اینو نگفتی؟ بذار ببینم بقیه‌اش رو بگو.
There's some limestone on the back, so I'm going to grab that. This metal salvage is appealing to me, but I'm going to leave it for now because I want to go ahead and fill up with copper and other things like that. I will continue doing this throughout the whole day, and once I have a full inventory of supplies, we will go ahead and meet back on the life pod. You will occasionally find things like creature eggs, which eventually you can hatch and grow, but it is advised early game not to bother with these because all they're going to do is take up resource space.
Nice.
And until you have the alien containment, they're not useful.
Okay.
With our inventory almost full, we can start heading back to the life pod. Watch out for these guys, they will bite you. Now, while we're inside, even though this is damaged and not working, make sure you always take the medical kit out of the medical kit fabricator. Once you take it out, it will start to regenerate a new medical kit. And this will allow you to get a healthy supply of medical kits in your inventory or in a storage box somewhere so you can heal when you need it. Now we have a healthy dose of things, and we're going to come in. First thing, we have a few items that need to be broken down. Things like the creep vine seed cluster and the metal salvage need to be broken down into their smaller components so that we can craft with them. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and make my seed vine cluster one into silicone rubber. And the other one will be lubricant, but we won't need that till a little bit later, so we're not going to worry about that. A few other components that we're going to need to make for our tools. If we come into our tools, we're going to need to make a battery. So let's go ahead into the electronics section.
We need to make a battery.
Let's go ahead into the electronics section.
Okay.
We're going to need them, and once they're empty, don't throw them out. Those empty batteries are going to be very useful later on. With those empty batteries, we can now craft what's called a power cell with a little bit of silicone rubber and 2 batteries. Now, instead of crafting a brand new fresh battery, you can take a dead battery or an almost dead battery or 2 dead batteries or almost dead batteries with silicone rubber and make a power cell. The power cell won't be dead, it'll be fully charged. So this is a good way to maximize your resources. The first thing we want to make is a scanner. This is going to be really important. It's going to allow us to unlock more blueprints. So let's make that. The next one we're going to make is the repair tool. This is going to allow us to repair the life pod, and this is pretty important. It's going to give us some lights, and more importantly, it's going to get the radio functioning. Once the radio is functioning, we'll start to get waypoints to different areas to investigate. Now, the next piece of equipment we want to make, we come into personal and we go up to our equipment. We want to make a standard O2 tank, and once we make this tank, it's going to unlock the high-capacity tank. You have to completely exit out of the fabricator to go back in it to see the additions that are unlocked. So now we'll need 2 glass, we'll need a piece of silver, which we know we can get from reef-back barnacles, or sandstone, 2 pieces of glass, and some titanium. The next thing we're going to make is some fins. It's going to allow us to swim about 15% faster, and honestly, this makes a big difference. We're going to want to make a knife, and we want to make a flashlight. Now, this isn't needed, but if you're going to be out in somewhere dark or gathering resources or checking wreckage at night, this light works really well. In order to do that, we need a battery and some glass. So we did grab some quartz, which we need 2 pieces of quartz to make 1 piece of glass, so we're going to make a couple pieces of glass. Now, our storage is getting filled pretty fast, so there is another way in the early game to manage your storage, and that's to make waterproof lockers with 4 pieces of titanium or 1 piece of metal salvage and breaking that down into its components of 4 pieces of titanium. So if we go ahead and do that, and we go into the water, now we can access this and put things in it. We can make as many as we want. Now, with our scanner in hand, we need to start to find small wreckage and debris up and around the safe shallow area. When out and about and looking for resources and things like that, you're going to find boxes just like this one. You come and look inside, you're going to find things. This is the next thing that we really want to find is the sea glide. This is going to allow us to get around a lot faster. So we need 2 pieces for that. Now, I found a little bit of debris here, so let's go ahead and take a look. There's also things like boxes beacon fragments, and you're really going to want to go ahead and look around in the safe shallows and in the grassy plateaus area for fragments to unlock. And the order of importance of things I need to build and the way I do it and the way I recommend it is to unlock the sea glide, the mobile vehicle bay, so that we can craft a sea moth later, and then, of course, the fragments that you need for the sea moth. Scanning things that you've already unlocked will just yield titanium, which of course we know is a needed material. Now that we have our sea glide unlocked, we want to go back to our life pod and we want to craft that as soon as possible. Now that we've unlocked our sea glide, we want to come into the crafting fabricator and we want to go down to the deployables with all the resources that we need to craft it, and we want to go ahead and craft that.
Nice.
Eventually the debris in the safe shallows will become exhausted, and you'll strike out into areas surrounding it, like the grassy plateaus, which you can identify by the red grass. Here you're going to find a whole host of different things and wreckage, including larger pieces of wreckage, which are very important early game because they leave fragments of blueprints. Fragments like the scanner room right here, where you'll need to scan multiple pieces in order to lock the whole blueprint. It is important to note, however, that while larger pieces of wreckage like this one will always be static in every game that you play or restart, the debris scattered around it and sometimes inside it will always be randomized. Data boxes, which contain a whole blueprint, will always be static. And if you've already unlocked that blueprint and you come across its data box, you'll either receive titanium, or if the wreck has not spawned yet in the game because you've not been in that area, it may not be there at all. Another important part is wreck diving. Now we can find all kinds of good things here, and it is advised to be very extremely careful because wreck diving is dangerous. It is easy to get turned around in these, and you can die. But you can find a whole host of really good items, like this mobile vehicle bay fragment that we need. We keep looking around, we may just find the other piece. We weren't lucky here, but we could potentially go farther if we wanted to find more. A rebreather, while doing wreck dives, is advised. Once we've unlocked our sea moth and our mobile vehicle bay, it'll be time to go back to our life pod and build them both. In order to craft not just the mobile vehicle bay, but the sea moth as well, we will need 2 titanium ingots, 2 pieces of lubricant, lead, 2 pieces of glass, and 2 power cells, which would be 4 batteries. So I've crafted 4 batteries here. One of them is dead, just like I talked about, and what we want to do is we want to come through all of our equipment, like our sea glide is down to 40%, our scanner's at 87%, our repair tool has no battery, and we want to replace the things that we can with brand new cells. So this will give us a dead battery and a low battery. And we can use these 2. I'll have to put the other 2 good ones away for now, and I'll show you. When we craft a power cell, it's full. This will allow you to reuse your dead batteries before you have things like a battery charger. The next thing that we want to craft before we go out and release our mobile vehicle bay will be a beacon. Now we found the fragments for this blueprint in the debris around the safe shallows and grassy plateaus. With those in hand, we're going to go ahead and go outside. We're going to equip this to 5, and we'll release it. Once we climb up on top, we can click the little panel, click the vehicles. We have everything we need for the sea moth, and that's going to craft the sea moth. Now the final thing that we want to cover in this guide is 0 point. Now if you're on a computer, 0 point will be easier for you to find, but if you're on console, you do not have that option that PC does. And using your life pod as a reference point for some things may be okay, but for a lot of other things, Rex included, we use 0 point, especially on this channel and in many of my guides and many other content creators' guides. So the best thing we want to do is we want to stand up on our life pod and look around in the safe shallows. Now here, in the distance, I can see 2 coral tubes sticking out of the water. I know from experience that 0 point is not going to be there. If I turn to the right towards the aurora, I will see that coral tube. Now, your location for your life pod will be different from mine in this guide because it spawns randomly, like I said. That's why we usually don't use the life pod as a reference point, but we see that one sticking out of the water, and if we look around, literally there's only 3 sticking out of the water. We're going to go to the one that's single. This one is shaped like a horn with the thinner, skinnier part sticking out of the water. This is what we're looking for. This is not 0 point. This is going to help us find 0 point. We put our back directly to it. It's like this, and right before us is like a little valley pathway. We go right into this pathway right here, and we look to the left, we see a little tiny arch. We can release our beacon right here. Now, if I highlight over the front of it, I can change the name 0 point, whatever you'd like to call it. We pull this up and go back into our beacon manager, right here on the 3rd tab. We can change the color of that to a color that'll stand out. It's like this. So now, anywhere on the map, if we're leaving from 0 point and we know it's, say, 1,100 meters away, as we get farther away, all we have to do is turn around, highlight over our 0 point beacon manager right there, and it'll tell us we're 62 meters away. We have a long way to go. We continue on. You get the point. Now that we got a good start in the game, the next thing that we're going to want to think about making is a habitat builder. With our habitat builder, when we click it, it'll bring up a menu of things we can build, including solar panels for power, different sections that'll allow us to build all kinds of great things, fabricators, as you can see, and this list will increase as we continue to dive for more wrecks and find more wreckage. I won't get into the building aspect of the game right here, because that is for another video at the end of this short 3-part series. You may want to build something like this early game, so that you can put lockers in there, lockers like these, which you can mount on the wall, and it'll give you a lot more storage. Throw a solar panel on there, and you have a little bit of power and oxygen. You'll have oxygen in this or any base as long as you have power to it. Now that we have our sea moth, the next step is to go out further and deeper to discover more wreckage, to unlock new blueprints, to craft, build, and complete the game. In the next guide, we'll be going over many different locations for wrecks that you should definitely check out in the game, and make sure you get your 0 point marked, because we will be using 0 point for this.
من گیج شدم.
100 days.
100 days.
100 days. 100
Hey.
days.
100 days.
100 days.
100 days.
I spent 100 days in Subnautica. Is something I'm sure you've heard at least once. But there's one thing I always seem to notice while watching these videos. Their main goal is always to beat the game, and they almost never spend time building megabases or big projects. But this isn't my first rodeo with Subnautica, so I didn't want my main goal to be beating the game. So what's my main goal? Well, it's pretty simple. To build big and unique bases, to see if I can survive this terrifying planet with one life, avoid heart attacks, and to see just how weird things can get. So sit back, relax, and watch as I survive the next 100 days in hardcore Subnautica.
What? What?
So the first couple of days, nothing really special happened. I explored the safe shallows in the kelp forest, and I was able to craft most of the basic tools along with the sea life. I also spent some time on the grassy plateau scanning pretty much anything I could. Is that a sea moth I see? When I felt I scanned enough, I started heading to the floating island, where I found one of the 2 power cell charger fragments. Oh, wow. Leaders are down here? What? And then I stopped by Lifebot 19 and got the blueprint for the best. It's the best, the ultra-high capacity tank. Ooh. And when I arrived at the island, I was scanning everything I set my eyes on, from multi-purpose rooms to random plants. What the hell? Are you kidding me? Around this time, I also started to visualize what I wanted my base to be.
Jazzy.
When I left the island, I went to the mushroom forest and visited Lifepod 13. I also found both of the moon pool fragments and both of the cuttlefish eggs. Come on. Oh, okay. I found it. Get me out. Okay, so that's 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5 cuttlefish. Hopefully I can find a moon pool fragment. Oh. Oh. I just like manifested that. And before I knew it, the sunbeam was headed my way.
Aurora, this is Sunbeam again. We're now in route to your location. We're gonna bring you home. Sunbeam out.
And then my PDA started saying some weird stuff, but yeah, I'm sure it's nothing. Now I need to make the suit. Okay, no more rebreather. God dang it. Okay, looking pretty tough. So the best idea I had was to go in the freshly exploded ship so I could get the most possible amount of radiation. Yeah, sounds good. I think I'm fine. I have like everything I need.
Nah, baby.
Ow, what the hell? Look at this. I can just run through this, please. Okay. Ooh, poster. Am I floating? Okay, baby. Never gonna use that. Give me some luck. Damn it. Yes. Bop, 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 bop. Damn, that does damage. Okay.
What do we have here?
Oh, that scared the hell out of me. I will definitely be taking that. Drive room. Let's do that last. Another battery? Oh, wow, another battery. Whew, think I have enough batteries. Oh, prawn suits. I think there is a secret room somewhere in here. Oh, here it is. What the hell?
The
Isn't it like 1891? 1891? Can I find this anywhere? Hold on. I did it myself. All by myself. I did it. Oh, there's so much I want here, but I can't. What else? Oh, repulsion cannon. Okay. Power cell. Oh, the food. Oh, the food is what we need. Oh, vending machine. Oh,
This is what I needed.
I need it. Oh, bro, there's so much. There's so much that I want, but I already have one. So 869. Oh, yes. Oh, fix that. Oh, 9. 2679. Boom. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, very nice. Do I go back up? Modification station, yes. I need 3. Oh my goodness. After ridding the ocean of all radiation and stuffing my pockets with everything I could find, I went to Lifebot 12, where I found a PDA, the lightweight high-capacity tank, and the Cyclops hull fragment. There we go. And this was the point that I realized I had the sea moth scanned this whole time. I have the blueprints to make a prawn suit and a sea moth, and I just like... What am I doing? And after realizing this, I made it as fast as I could. Yes, baby! Yeah, we are never swimming again. Oh, we are speeding, baby! Ah! So with my newfound ride, I was headed to the mountain. Well, what do we have here? Where am I even going? Oh, here we go. Scanny.
What
Your best
the
probability of interfacing with this facility is achieved by accessing the control room in the lower section.
Here we go.
Scans indicate the facility's control room, like beyond this doorway.
Oh! No. Oh, I needed that. Oh, yes. Oh! Amazing. At this point, I was tired of being a homeless bum, so I tried making a moon pool to varying levels of success. Please tell me this gets sunlight. Yeah, I need to find a new spot. I don't know. This spot is speaking to me. Now I actually have like good energy. This was also around the time when Sunbeam was set to save me. Put this over here. Oh, and this thing talked to me? I don't know. I'm sure it's nothing. Yo, that scared the shit out of me, dude.
What are you?
I ended day 10 by going to the blood kelp and scanning the nuclear reactor. Yep. I hear the warpers. Nope. While I wait, I kind of want to look for time capsules. Oh, there is no way. I was like barely even looking for them. That is crazy because I actually needed a beacon. When day 10 arrived, time was still ticking until the Sunbeam was set to save me. So I explored the floating islands, and I was able to scan the stasis rifle, some of the Cyclops engine fragments, the prawn suit grappling arm, one of the drill arm fragments, and the blueprint for the swim charge fins. And then I went to watch the Sunbeam save us.
Change course. Set thrusters to full.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. When I returned to my home, my moon pool, whatever you want to call it, I realized that this was not going to cut it. So I figured it was a good time to start on my main base. But first, we needed to get a lot of quartz. Quartz me up better. Okay, I am gonna make my way to the island and see what I can do. So, can I just like that? Oh my god, I left all the glass. Okay, yeah, but I'm gonna try and connect this to that using the glass compartments. Here we are. I think we're about halfway done. You see the... Oh, yeah. You see the vision? Okay, yep. We need more. Boom. I am already out again. Holy dude. I'd say that's about half. That is about halfway done. During one of my resource trips, I went to the wreck underneath my base and found the chip for the reinforced dive suit. Oh, that is amazing. Such a craft.
من دارم هنگ میکنم البته. What؟ دقیقا حس چیز به هم دست میده. رفت بازی رفت، یعنی اصلا و من اصلا از رفت خوشم نیامد. حالا بازی خوبی بود، اتفاقا بازیشو دوست دارم، ولی اصلا خوشم نیامد از رفت. یعنی چطوری بهت بگم، داستان بازی و اون تکراری بودن و اون حرکاتی که باید همیشه بزنی یه حس وای این اصلا هیچ هیجانی برام نداره میده. یعنی مثلا مجبورم من این کارو بکنم و همیشه یه مسیر درستی هست برای رفتن یه کاری و از این خوشم نمیاد. یعنی ذهنمو اونجوری که دوست دارم درگیر کنه درگیر نمیکنه. اوکی. بذار حالا فعلا ادامه بدیم ببینیم میتونیم چیکار کنیم.
Look at me, baby. So now this means I take half the damage that I usually would, which considering it's hardcore is pretty much a game changer. I also use this time to find the materials for the Seamoth's third depth module. What the hell is this? Reginald. One more. One. What is this place? Okay, and this comes out into a bigger cave? What? Whoa, this is... I didn't even know this existed. That is crazy. The final depth module for the Seamoth. Ooh, am I gonna make it? Wait, this looks close. Oh, this looks really close. Dude, I'm right there. Can I make it? I want it to look like these islands or these mountains are holding up my base. Oh, I can reach that somehow. Okay, I'll take it. And like that. Like that, baby. Okay, hold on. How does this look from below? Then like a large room right there. Yeah, that is gonna be cool. After connecting both of the pillars, I went down to the jelly shroom caves in search for mainly one thing: the sweet, sweet water filtration system. Oh, okay. How does this look? Oh, isn't that a view, baby? Look at that. Yeah, that is so cool. So, I'll tell you a joke. So, I went into a British bar, and Samper says, hey, could I give you 1 and 42? I was like, I'll make it double. She's like, okay, it's on the house. And I'm like, oh, the house, you mean Seamoth? She's like, oh, yeah, my bad, Cyclops. Bingo. Wait a minute. Bingo, baby. So, how does that look? Oh, yeah. Okay, why am I at the front? Bingo. Here we go. Oh, that does not look bad at all. Oh, dude, this... Oh, yeah. Oh, that is not too shabby. After I finished building the large room, I realized something. I still needed a way to power it, so I decided to take inspiration from one of my older videos. Ooh, hold on, that looks so cool. And you can see my base. Oh, there we go. I remember in one of my other videos, people were like screaming at me because I was getting everything wrong. Oh, here we go. Then this will go around like... Oh, there's no way that's like... That is a very tight squeeze. Whoa, bud. What's your roll, man? What the hell? What the f***? Oh, hell no. Can I do this? Yes. I can't build anything here. Yeah, no, I need this, but like that. Then I can put this here. But would that? I feel like that looks stupid. And then I remove this. Oh yes, that is like actually perfect. And then we do a little bit of light.
هیچ چالنجی نداره یا اگر داره همش آرتیفیشاله، یعنی مصنوعیه، یعنی همچین حسی دارم ازش دریافت میکنم.
Bro.
و از این خوشم نمیاد.
One away.
Here I'll have the... I'll have that. Look at that. And let me do a little bit of that. That is what I'm talking about. You see that? Then yeah, eventually I'll do it on the other side.
But right now,
I can't unsee the angled grow back.
Aliens, leviathans, dripping fear in the face of the deep unknown. There's crafting and cool vehicles too, but mainly poop in my pants as I unravel the mysteries of this beautiful yet terrifying alien planet. Can I save myself and maybe the entire ecosystem while I'm at it? Probably not, to be honest. I'll be too busy hiding. Either way, I played 100 days of Subnautica. Oh, shit go boom. Escape pod go boom too, apparently. Oh, got clocked on the noggin. I whacked my way free of the harness and found my escape pod was attached to Toasty, so I let loose with the fire extinguisher. My iPad told me I'd suffered minor head trauma, which was optimal apparently. There was a log, a databank with lots of handy info, and a whole bunch of blueprints. And we love some juicy crafting options, so this was good news. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh. Sick.
The Aurora suffered orbital hull failure. Cause unknown. 0 human life signs detected.
No human life detected, okay. That's concerning. This planet was rather moist, so I figured I might as well jump in and begin figuring out how to save myself. And it is pretty down here. These weirdo fish that outswam me, the flora, the rays of sunlight through the water, lovely. What do I do? Over near these bright green bulb butt creatures, I found some metal salvage. I swam inside this coral tube and got stuck behind this writhing weed, and this helpful tip encouraged me to break the limestone, in which I found some titanium. As you can see, I've got limited oxygen, so I surfaced often, and I also had health, hunger, and thirst to attend to. Look at my shadow. Whee! I'm a skinny fella. What was that? There's no need for weird noises, mate. Back in the escape pod, which I guess was my base of operations for now, I discovered I could break down each metal salvage into 4 titanium chunks. I realized there was a storage chest with some food and water, so I grabbed it and chucked all my titanium in storage. I continued acquainting myself with the tools and equipment I could craft, but most of it required more than just titanium, so it was beyond me for now. Okay, I consumed some food. Looks like a wheat bix. And I discovered I could pin items to help me keep track of the materials I needed. I now had something clear to aim for, so out I swam. I found quartz and a great abundance of acid mushrooms.
Oxygen.
Oh. Got to remember to breathe, probably a worthy concern.
Alien life forms may have unexpected applications.
What the heck do I do with you? So I can just pluck these funky alien fish right out of the water. I found some copper in a limestone outcrop, saw this scary looking weirdo and immediately backtracked, and found the inside of this big coral tube had quite the bounty of materials. But my bags were full up, so I returned to the pod. I can tell already I'm going to get very disoriented, turned around underwater in this game. Let me tell you, that observation proved true. I got lost willy-nilly in this game. So as you're watching, just assume I'm pretty much always at least slightly lost. I cooked the bladderfish and ate it, and drank the water from the storage chest too. I crafted an oxygen tank, which increased my O2 capacity from 45 to 75, and also unlocked the blueprint for an upgraded high capacity tank. I also made a battery from copper and acid mushrooms, which I used to craft a scanner. I ended this crafting sesh fabricating a couple of floaty chests, which I placed here to empty my inventory into. I found I could scan stuff, which added info to my databank, providing directions and clues for progression. Nothing was safe from my scanning bonanza. That's not entirely true, actually. This rabbit ray was pretty safe as he was hard to catch. Wait, stop doing big farts, bro. It's not appropriate. I scanned a garryfish and a peeper, and I returned to the coral tube where I found some creature eggs and a shuttlebug, and I may have nearly drowned. Oh crap. We're good, calm down. I found these sandstone outcrops that yielded silver ore, gold ore, and lead. And just as the iPad lady informed me she smelled sulfur nearby, I realized something. Oh crap, I'm gonna drown. No! Did I just die? Yep. I died and lost some belongings. Oh, I lost lots of belongings. So that drowning felt like a rite of passage, because if you're on an ocean planet, you might as well drown at least once. No big deal. I caught a bunch more fishies and realized I could turn the bladderfish straight into a bottle of H2O, and I cooked up the rest. I discovered cooked peepers seemed to be the most nutritious, so I made bladderfish my go-to water source, and peepers my go-to food source ongoing. On day 3, I braved slightly deeper waters as I headed into this kelp forest. Yeah, this is the stuff I can turn to rubber. Those guys don't look friendly though. I collected a bunch of these creepvine seed clusters, and as I slowly swam back to base, I said, I need to build something to move around faster. I turned the creepvine seed clusters into silicon rubber, which I used to make some pins and a survival knife. I also made some more floaty chests as I needed more storage space. I can write stuff on it. Dingus. Beautiful. I was swimming noticeably faster thanks to the fins, which was a relief. It's all still here. Yay! 2 quartz could be refined into glass, so I made 2 of those and upgraded my O2 tank again. Nice. What is it now? 135. That's huge. There were a few basic materials that still eluded me though, such as sulfur and table coral, so I continued sniffing around this shallow biome. Whoa! What the hell was that? Let's get an instant replay of that glorious explosion. Oh, and there it is in gorgeous 4K fidelity with impeccable sound
come on.
and total diagnostic to run, which revealed some troubling information. Leviathan class predators. That sounds terrifying. Foreign bacteria. Planet is beyond Federation space. Rescue unlikely. I mean, that sucks. I also repaired the radio, and I received a helpful message.
Rescue operation will be dispatched to your location in 9 hours.
Well, as long as I can wait 999 hours, I think I'll be fine.
Local radiation readings suggest the Aurora's drag core has reached critical state. Quantum
It's gonna blow up in 2 hours. Are you serious? I'm just watching like someone to blow up. Blow up. Blow up. Blow up. Blow up. Blow up. It didn't blow up. I whacked this brain coral with my knife to see what would happen. Oh, I broke it. Oh, what the heck? I had no idea what to do with the brain coral samples though, so I chucked them next to my pod. They look like almonds. Why's the brain coral sample look like? Okay, whatever. I applied my new knowledge regarding the merit of slashing things and collected myself some table coral. I made some copper wire from 2 copper ore and grabbed that 1 gold ore I found earlier and used all this to craft a computer chip. Progress. I headed back out in search of silver. I got exploded on. Ow! I found this pile of wreckage and I tried to scan this spotty stalker. I just want to scan you. No, don't eat me. As I was scouring these cave systems in search of them juicy sandstone outcrops, I received a warning. Oh.
5, 4, 3,
Okay. Ooh. Well, that's not good. I was helpfully provided with a radiation suit blueprint, which will come in handy now that the nuclear reactor of the Aurora was well and truly breached. I made myself a flashlight and another floaty chest for my growing hoard of materials. So many chests. I kept on top of my food and water situation and then headed back into the caves with my new flashlight. But it wasn't the most fruitful search. I really found anything, let alone silver. Give me a big blob of... Yeah, delicious. The brain coral helps you breathe. I ventured towards this deeper biome with red noodly grass, and I found salt as well as a big salt deposit that required a tool of some sort to mine. Oh crap. Ooh. What are you? Leave me alone. The brain coral kept my O2 levels up as I explored, and when I wandered too far this way, I received a radiation warning. Can hear fishes groaning. Oh, what are those? Is that what's groaning? It's like a big weird whale, right? These big buffers are reefback leviathans, and they do indeed have reefs on their backs. I cleaned her up a bit by breaking this barnacle off her back, and I was rewarded with some silver ore. The miracle of symbiosis. And this tiger plant shot a barb at me. Tiger plant. Ow. I made the long swim home, catching fish as I went, and as I finally made my first wiring kit, I listened to a radio distress call from LifePod 3. I received their last known coordinates. Give me one habitat builder. Woo! You won't believe it, but I used my habitat builder to build a habitat. A couple of eye compartments with a hatch. It had no power and no oxygen, but it was home. Pumps oxygen from a powered habitat to an attached pipe network. Now, this tooltip clearly explains what this air pump does, but I was too much of a goose to comprehend it, even though I literally read it out loud. And so I spent ages trying to use this thing to somehow get oxygen to my new base. I tried attaching it to the pod, I tried attaching it to brain coral, because those have oxygen, so it makes sense, and I gave up on my stupid quest for a bit and crafted one of these storage lockers, which was a nice improvement on the silly little floater chests. I then headed off to investigate the source of LifePod 3's distress signal. It was a few hundred meters away in this kelp forest. I found a crew log and the blueprint for a compass. What the hell? I'll kill you. I don't care. I also found this sea glide fragment, and upon scanning it, I was informed I'd reached 50% progress towards something. I opened up my databank and had a listen to the crew log I just picked up. It revealed the 2 survivors' attempt to upgrade a sea glider in hopes it would take them both to safety. Something tells me it did not successfully take them to safety. I collected goodies on the way home and scanned this beautiful eye stalk. Oh, what? Mobile vehicle base fragment scanned. 1 out of 3. Ow! You cheeky bugger. Right, so I found some fragments that helped me learn how to make a sea glide, which sounds amazing, and a mobile vehicle bay. I was now on the lookout for debris to scan, because I was certainly keen for some new tech to make my underwater life easier. I arrived home to another radio transmission.
This is Larry Quinn, training ship Sunbeam. Aurora, do you read? Over.
This spaceship was offering to come and rescue the survivors of the Aurora wreck, but obviously we weren't responding due to the big boom. Obviously my little radio receiver thingo doesn't have the capacity to transmit, otherwise I would send something to the effect of, yeah please mate, come get me, it's very wet here. I then expanded my storage situation by 2 lockers, before continuing with my idiotic experiments. This time I crafted a floating air pump and some pipes, and I rigged this glorious contraption. I have no idea why this didn't work, to be honest. I gave up eventually, wondering if perhaps my habitat was destined to be oxygen-free for eternity, and I listened to another radio transmission. This one was from LifePod 6, and the exact coordinates were corrupted, but I had some clues as to where they might be, including this photo which featured red noodle grass. I grabbed some pre-fine samples, which I turned into fiber mesh, which I combined with lead to make a radiation suit. I also made a compass. My heads-up display at the top there shows the direction I'm facing. Very useful. I continued with my goose-tastic experiments, placing the base-attached air thingo here, and it of course did nothing. And then I finally figured it out. A solar panel, except it was night, so I had to wait a bit. But as day 8 dawned, success at last. Power restored. Okay. Oh, it just automatically has O2 as long as I've got power. Okay.
Aurora, this is Sunbeam again. We just picked up a massive debris field at your location. I didn't know how many of you. I didn't know. We're now en route to your location. We're gonna bring you home. Sunbeam out.
So rescue was on its way. Wonderful news. But somehow I had a bad feeling about it. Mainly because if they rescued me on day 10, it wouldn't be conducive to the 100-day format of this video. I emptied all these floaty chests and moved their contents to my inside storage, which I expanded some more. And I now had no use for these, so I left them in a jumble above my base. Alright, there's all my random lockers. Looking hideous. I also placed a fabricator on the wall. I headed out collecting resources and found myself some stuff to scan. A beacon fragment, a grav trap fragment, and most excitingly, a sea glide fragment. Ooh. That's a new blueprint, baby. Sea glide. Battery lubricant, copper wire, titanium. I had all of the above stocked at base, so I crafted one immediately. Toggle map. Whoa. It's got a map. Well, this is good news. This is good news for all Australians. Let me glide through the sea. I used my new zippy zip speed to good effect, finding a laser cutter fragment. Ah! Get out of here. And a sea moth fragment. Get some. And a bar table. Yes, the blueprint I've been looking for my whole life. So I guess there are decorative things you can build too. At this much larger chunk of wreckage, I found a couple of fragments on the outside, and I was able to actually find my way inside. Oh, here we go. Laser cutter. That's 3 out of 3, I believe. Okay, well, I'm looking at blueprints. I also got some choice pottery blueprints. And heading all the way to the surface for breath wasn't so bad now that I had my sea glide. I was in a red noodle biome, so I hoped I might stumble upon LifePod 6. And sure enough, there it was. I found a blueprint for a fin upgrade and 2 crew logs that can be summarized by this.
It's not a distress flare. Stop waving it around like that. You'll catch the fuel line.
Oh dear, LifePod 6 had a doozy. On day 10, I ventured closer to the ship. I found my first chunks of lithium and had a peek at the big old wreck from close up. I found this supply crate, which offered sage advice. Disinfected water.
Preparing the day's water ration ahead of time will help ensure against dehydration and eventual death.
Yeah, some would say. I also unlocked the propulsion cannon blueprints, so this expedition was certainly quite fruitful. I was getting new tech willy-nilly. This game's got a real, it's like a smoothness to it. It's smooth. I'm not really sure what I meant by that, but you better believe that Subnautica is as smooth as the bonnet of a Porsche. I arrived home to another distress call on the radio.
Our pod was almost crushed by the sea moth bay on the way down. Now we're hanging on the edge of a cave system, and this grim-looking snake thing's trying to lead through the hull. Come get us already.
I didn't like the sound of the snake-looking thing, but at least I had another lead to follow. I gathered the materials to make the Ultra Glide fins, but found I wasn't able to craft it at the fabricator, so I assumed I needed to unlock a high-tier crafting machine. And since my sea glide was getting low on battery, I just straight up made a new one. I could have just changed the battery, but I was a bit too much of a goose to work that out just yet. I caught some fish and made my first cured peepers with salt, and these last forever, unlike the cooked peepers I'd been eating earlier, which spoil quite quickly. Now well stocked with delicious salty peepers, I zoomed off towards LifePod 17, and I found it in this other red noodle biome. There were no giant snakes to be seen. It probably ate the silly nerds that were stranded here and went for a nap, so that was good news. The bloke that got eaten by the snake sounded quite sad on the crew logs.
I don't understand how we're here now. I don't know why no one's coming for me.
But more importantly, I found another sea moth fragment, fully unlocking a new vehicle blueprint. Very juicy. I expanded my storage because I had heaps of materials, which is great news because I love hoarding goodies in games like this. You never know when you might need something. I also made a sign that said dingus. I mean, store things here. Yeah, it was a rather funny sign. I gathered the materials to craft a sea moth, including fabrication of my first titanium ingot out of 10 titanium, and my first power cell out of 2 batteries. But I didn't have a mobile vehicle bay yet, so I couldn't make the actual sea moth. I struck out in search of more silver ore, as I needed more wiring kits for my next crafting projects. I'm not sure if some stuff respawned or I just found totally new caves, but I found a decent haul of goodies. I returned home on day 12 with a bag load looking like this. I used the 2 silver ore I'd found to make a rebreather helmet, and this thing conserves oxygen at depths below 100 meters. The problem was I needed to keep my radiation helmet on me as well. So I was a little annoyed about the inventory management. Oh, my inventory's already so small as is. How frustrating. I found my second mobile vehicle fragment, great news, and I ventured into this cave system down in the kelp forest for the first time. It featured these pretty stinger danglies.
Be advised, a common complication for cave divers is loss of orientation, followed by eventual asphyxiation.
Yeah, agreed. I'd been thinking the exact same thing as the iPad lady, so I held off getting too tangled in the cave system just yet. I zoomed around collecting and soon enough found exactly what I was looking for. Oh. Okay, that's what I wanted, mobile vehicle. I immediately returned to base and constructed one, and I released it into the sea. What on earth? Okay. I had to gather the sea moth materials again because I used up half of them on the bay itself, but eventually it was time. Craft.
Is a fast, safe mode of transport, but remember that
swimming
is good for your glutes and endorphin levels.
Swimming's good for your glutes. Alright, my sea moth just got dropped. Let's go.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Can I pick stuff up in this? I know, I can run into stuff. My sea glide was dead out of battery power though, so I spent some time fiddling around and finally figured it out. Okay. Now I know you press R and you can exchange batteries. Cool. In that case, we gotta keep batteries with us. And so I crafted a few batteries to keep in my inventory as spares. Let's go. We're on the move now, baby. I continued exploring and collecting, except much faster now, and with the convenience of being able to catch my breath in the sea moth, rather than having to go all the way to the surface or huddle atop a brain coral. This could be something. Beacon? Coffee vending machine? Getting some blueprints, man. I returned to another radio message. This from the officer who had assumed command after the captain of the Aurora's demise. He had sent rendezvous coordinates at dry land, which was a surprise to me. I thought this planet was 100% wet. Unfortunately, the coordinates were corrupted, but I did receive the location of his life pod. I stocked my bags for an adventure, including making my first beacon, as well as a spare power cell in case the sea moth ran out of battery, and off I went. Life pod 19 was over a kilometer away, so I of course got distracted by some stuff on the way. I found yet another wreck, where I found the entire scanner room blueprint. I think I could probably get in there with a laser cutter, but I don't know where to find diamonds. I then ventured towards an even deeper biome in search of life pod 19. The deepest I'd gone so far was about 100 meters, but this appeared to be much deeper than that. You know what? I'm terrified. It's terrifying. I slowly made my way down, constantly looking left and right for signs of danger.
Warning, maximum depth reached. Hull damage imminent.
Oh, 200 meters was my depth limit in the sea moth, and this life pod was down at 300 meters. I was distracted by this wreck for a bit, where I found another bonanza of blueprint fragments, including the
من برم توی استیم استور overwhelmingly positive. اوکی. اختفا کن. اوکی. شاید اصلا این سبک بازی برای من خوب نیست، چون مثلا سر ماینکرافت هم سر ماینکرافت هم من بدم نیامد، ولی خود ماینکرافت تا الان بازی نبوده که بخوام خودم رو ایندالج کنم درش، میدونی؟ چون من ماینکرافت رو از بچگی دوست داشتم، ولی بازی اگر من میکنم من دوست دارم ذهنم درگیر شه. خب ولی مثلا یه چیزی مثل این یا مثل رفت یا مثل ماینکرافت یه حالت لول تور داره ولی بهت آزادی هم میده. میفهمی چی میگم؟ یعنی تو آزادی که به هر شکلی که دوست داری لولایی که از قبل برات طراحی شده رو طی کنی و وقتی یه بار دو بار مثلا میرم توش حس میکنم که تکراری شده برام. سر ماینکرافت من خیلی این حس رو گرفتم و چیز شد. حالا مثلا یک بازی خیلی خوبی که من دارم و خیلی شبیه اینه ولی شبیهش نیست، یعنی میدونی به همین شکل طی میشه ها. بازی سبک سروایوله ولی نه، بازی سبک حالت سروایول تور داره ولی اصلا سروایول تور نیست. خب به جاش بازیه حالت اتومیشن داره. من اینو خودم به شخص خیلی بیشتر بهش علاقه دارم نسبت به اون. اوکی بسه. اوکی فهمیدم. سری بیار. اوکی این ساتیسفکتوری بازیش سبک اتومیشنه، یعنی با سبک سروایول نیستش که تو لازم باشه زنده بمونی. تو داری سیستم هایی رو آماده میکنی که به سوالاتی که خود بازی جواب برات مطرح کرده چیز کنی، برسی. خب برای همین اینجوری نیستش که تو مراحل رو باید طی کنی، یعنی مراحل رو طی میکنی ولی راه این که چطوری مراحل رو طی کنی با خودت تعیین میشه، نه جواب آماده ای که سازنده بازی برات آماده کرده. الان مثلا اینو ببین، این یارو داره از این معدنه چیز میگیره، زغال میگیره. نه زغال که اینه. این داره از این معدن اینجا مس میگیره و این مس رو میاره برای من این بالا، اینجا زیر زمینه ها. این مس رو برای من میاره بالا، فرو میکنه توی این پزنده میاد، مثل خام میگیره، مثل پخته تحویل میده. بعد که تحویل داد میاد مثلا میره به اینا، این میاد سیم برای من میسازه. بعد این همشون دارن سیم میسازن. خب اینا مس رو میگیره تبدیل به سیم میکنه، این سیم رو میگیره تبدیل به کابل برق میکنه. من این کابل برق رو بعدا میتونم همشون استفاده کنم. ببین منظورم اینه در نهایت که بازی نیومده برای تو برای تو مسیر تعیین کنه. خب داره برات چیزی رو ایجاد میکنه که برات مسئله مطرح بشه، نه اینکه حتی خود بازی هم برات مسئله مطرح کنه. تو داری برای خودت تو بازی مسئله مطرح میکنی و خودت یه کاری میکنی با استفاده از ابزارهایی که بازی در اختیارت گذاشته که این مسئله رو حلش کنی. من دنبال همچین چیزی هم. حالا این ساتیسفکتوری رو من احتمالاً بازیش بکنم، ولی فعلا درگیر فکتوریو شدم که دقیقا تو همین سبکه ولی دو بودیه. آخ آی آخ آی. آره حالا خود ساتیسفکتوری جدیدن همین چند وقت پیش آپدیت جدید داده، من اونو میتونم دانلودش کردم. اینجا مثلا ببین، اینجا داره برای من سوخت میگیره. من میدونم چیکار میکنم، میام برگا و چوبایی که جمع کردم رو میارم اینجا، میدم به این دستگاه ها برای من سوخت درست کنم. بعد همه این سوخت ها رو یه جا جمع میکنم، میدم به این یاروها که برای من برق درست کنم تازه. آره خلاصه یه همچین بازی این سبکی رو من خودم خیلی خوشم میاد، ولی سابناتیکا رو خوشم نیامد، با این که میگم بازی خیلی خوبیه. من مردم. بای. آره من سابناتیکا رو خیلی
Please remember to stay within your designated zone as stated in your contract. Of this contract will
آره سابناتیکا میگم ببین بازی بدی نیست، ولی شاید واقعا به سبک من نخوره، چون من ماینکرافت رو خیلی بازی کردم یا رفت رو تا یه حد خیلی جذابی رسوندمش. شاید تقریبا بتونم خوب بفهمم که این بازی در نهایت به کجا ختم میشه و ازش خوشم نمیاد. من دنبال این بودم که بیام یه دونه لایوی بذارم، یعنی یه بازی رو بکنم که تو چندین دوره مختلف در واقع بازیش کنم، نه اینکه یه لایو بذارم و تمام شه بره. چون اصولا من لایوام اینه که چیز کنم، اینو من تازه دارم میسازمش، این همین کامل نشده. این میاد اون زغالایی که کجا بود زغالا؟ آره اون زغالایی که من اینجا آورده بودم اگه یادتون باشه بغل مسا بود، میبینه این مسیر رو طی کرده رفتم پشت. آره اگه اون زغالا رو بیارمشون اینجا، این میاد بر من برق درست میکنه و من دیگه نیازی نیستش چیز کنم. بعد ببین اصلا این بازی خودش یه جوری اومده ایجاد کرده روند رو که تو همیشه میدونی مرحله بعدی چیه و این خیلی قشنگه که تو بدونی مرحله بعدی کاری که باید انجام بدی و یا مسئله ای که برات مطرح میشه رو همیشه ازش آگاه باشی. یه بازی مثل ماینکرافت میگه خب تو افتاده توی یه دنیا، حالا زنده بمون. وات؟ چطوری؟ کجا؟ من مثلا یه ویدیو بودش میگفت اگه مثلا طرف بیاد ماینکرافت رو بدون تحقیق بر این که اصلا چه جوری ماینکرافت داره حرکت میکنه، چه مکانیک های بازی چیه و اینا، بیاد بازی کنه اصلا هیچی نمیفهمه. و سر تراریا هم من همین مشکل برام پیش اومد که من دقیقا نمیدونستم باید چیکار کنم، اصلا باید به هدف بعدیم چیه. بیا همین سابناتیکا هم من همین مشکل رو بهش خوردم که نمیدونستم آقا من مرحله بعدیم دقیقا چیه که باید انجام بدم و این بده، من واقعا بدم میاد. اگر به حالا ببین اینو میگم، من شاید اصلا بیام این ساتیسفکتوری روی یه مدت برم. ساتیسفکتوری شاید مثلا 1000 ساعت فقط بتونی بازی کنی بدون توقف. نه حالا 1000 ساعت بدون توقف که نمیشه، یعنی منظورم اینه که بازیش ریپلیبیلیتی بالایی داره. ریپلی هم نمی کنی یا تو هر لحظه داری یه چیز جدید یاد میگیری تو بازی، یعنی یه حرکت جدیدی داری میزنی از خودت که مثلا طرف شاید 1000 ساعت هم نه، مثلا 200 300 400 ساعت طول میکشه تا بازی رو فقط تمومش کنی و این ریپلیبیلیتی هم زیاد داره که تو هر وقت تمومش کردی دوباره برگردی روش و چیز کنی، و به یه شکل دیگه ای بازی رو تمومش کنی. آره که خیلی جذابه. مثلا یا اینو سیوش بکنم یا مثلا این بازی، حالا اینو میدونم شاید همه واقعا خوششون نیاد. من چیز خوبی این بازی چیه؟ رندوم بودنشه. یعنی تو هیچ وقت نمیدونی که، یعنی میدونی که چی میشه ها ولی نمیدونی که دقیقاً چی در انتظارت همیشه، مخصوصا این بخش سایبرگرام. تو همیشه باید ذهنت درگیر باشه که چیز کنی، حواست به همه چی باشه همزمان. من ازش خوشم ذهن رو درگیر. آره ببین ذهن رو درگیر میکنه ولی نه به شکل یک حل مسئله، به شکل به شکل یه چیز، ریاکشنی که در لحظه الان باید نشون بدی. یه چیزی مثل ماینکرافت یا همین سابناتیکا یا همین تراریا، یک اطلاعات خیلی محدودی در اختیارت گذاشته میشه و در کل یک اطلاعات محدودی در کل بازی وجود داره. تو این اطلاعات محدود رو که کسب بکنی تمومه، همه چیشو میدونی، همه کارشو بلدی، همه شکلش رو میتونی بفهمی، ولی یه چیزی مثل اینی که الان میخوام بیارم، این بازی فکتوریو، تو با این که اطلاعات محدود در اختیارت گذاشته شده و حتی فکتوریو یه ضرری که یه بدی که داره اینه که سخت اطلاعات جدید کسب بکنی، یعنی بهت همینجوری نمیگه، باید بری یه سایتی رو هم بخونی همزمان باهاش. خب ولی فکتوریو جالبیش به اینه که تو وقتی همه اطلاعات رو نمیتونی بفهمی، تو وقتی یک سیستمی رو ازش درک میکنی توانایی این رو داری که تا هر چقدر که ممکنه ساختار بازی رو برای خودت پیچیده کنی. یه چیز عجیب غریبیه. یعنی الان مثلا خب من میدونم برای ساختن یه سفینه فضایی باید یه دونه اینو بسازم، یه دونه اینو بسازم و یه دونه هم از اینا بسازم. خب بعد حالا به من میگه خب این از این و از این نیاز داره، تو باید بیای کل مراحل قبلیش رو هم همزمان طی کنی که بیای این رو بسازی. فکتوریو هم یه بازی اتوماسیونه ولی میگم سخت‌تر از سابناتیکا، چه از ساتیسفکتوری سخت‌تره بازیش، چون بهت اطلاعات رو نمیگه که تو همین الان سری بتونی باش کار کنی. خب ولی تو میای با همه اون اطلاعاتی که داری میتونی پیچیده ترین سیستم ممکنه درست کنی با اپتیمایز شده ترین حالت ممکن و همچنان جا برای پیچیده تر کردن و اپتیمایز تر کردن هم وجود داره. من اینو مثلا یه سیستم قطار درست کردم اینجا که این داره منابع من رو برای من جابجا میکنه، همین به همین راحتی. یهو میبینی چی شد، آهن کم آوردم، آهنام پر نیستن و به سختی دارم پر میشن، چیکار میکنم؟ میرم دو تا معدن آهن جدید در میکنم، از خودم روش ماین کننده میذارم و اینا رو وصل میکنم، این دفعه 3 تا قطار رو همزمان میتونه پر کنه چون حجمش بیشتره. من اومدم با استفاده از مسئله‌ای که برام پیش اومده فکر کردم و اون سوالو حل کردم و این لذت بخشه، من این لذت رو دنبالشم. آره خلاصه من فعلا این لایو الانم رو تمام میکنم. از سابناتیکا خوشم نیامد چون مسئله ای مطرح نمیکنه یا حداقل ذهن من رو درگیر نمیکنه با اطلاعات محدودی که به من میده و حجم محدودی از اسکیل کردنی که بهم اجازه میده انجام بدم. ولی میگم بازی خوبیه ها، بازی خوش ساخت و درستیه و قرار نیست بازی بدی باشه. من سبکم این نیستش. حالا من یه مدت دیگه میشینم فکر میکنم ببینم که چه بازی دیگه ای میتونه بهتر باشه اگر که بیام توی چندین تا لایو استریم انجامش بدم. و فکر میکنم الان مثلا همین فکتوریا یا ساتیسفکتوری چیزای خوبی باشن، ولی چون مثلا همه چیشون هم نه، من بلد نیستم همه. سر فکتوریو یه مسئله خیلی گنده‌ای دارم که اینجا من سفر به فضاست، من نیاز دارم که الان سفینه فضایی درست کنم. البته همه چیش آماده است ولی یه موردی که آپدیت جدید داده، من هنوز آپدیت جدید رو نذاشتم رو سیستمم و اون یه ذره کارا رو راحت تر کرده، ولی باید الان من برم یه مدتی تحقیق بکنم ببینم سفینه فضایی رو چطوری بسازم که بتونه برای الان نیاز الان من مناسب باشه و این سخته، این خیلی سخته این ولی باید برم من تحقیق کنم، از اون تحقیقه هم لذت میبرم. سر همین قطارها مثلا من هیچی نمیدونستم، میمونم یه همچین چیز مزخرفی درست میکردم، همش با از این ترد میلا بود و به هیچ دردی هم نمیخورد. اوکیه، خواهیم رسید به این روز زیبا که شاید حتی بشه من یک ویدیو هم در رابطه با همچین سبک بازی هایی درست کنم. البته الان ایدهش تازه همین الان به ذهنم رسید، ولی ایده خوبیه خدایی. امیدوارم هم سابناتیکا چیز جذابی باشه برای هر کس دیگری که داره بازیش میکنه. من خوشم نیامد، خاک تو سرتون بشه چون خوشتون نیامد. خداحافظ.